Welcome to another episode of Knerdout! I am Randy, this is Brian, and we come to you with our review of Star Wars Rogue One. First, I want to warn all you...
We're going to spoil the shit out of this. You haven't seen it, don't watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this, don't watch this. I mean, come on, we can't give you a proper Nerd-Out review
Having to worry about talking about spoiling it. Yeah.
So, Rogue One, we saw it Friday night, and... I do want to say thank you, Dave, for getting us tickets, but I'm never going to see a 3D movie again. I don't mean to be a dick, but I think 3D sucks. Unless you're going to see Avatar or some Pixar movie, the 3D ruins it. Do you agree, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't feel a need for 3D either. I think, at least not the first time.
Yeah.
I just had no idea what was going on
for
most of it, but
now
that just means some people dig it. I mean, if you're into it, yeah, man, it's all right, but I'm not.
My eyes can't adjust to it, so I guess I shouldn't shit on 3D. I should shit on the fact that I can't process the 3D.
It's not shot in 3D, it's a gimmick. Yeah. I don't like gimmicks. But that aside.
Go for it, man. What do you think?
Well, I saw it for my second time last night.
Yes.
On first viewing, I thought it was good, but I was lukewarm on it. Saw it again, and I was really into it.
Really?
Yeah, I was really into it. I think it did a lot of things right. I think it did most of it right. Mm-hmm. You know, help me out. You gotta get me started here.
Okay. I'm sorry. Look, I started watching it, and I liked it. I was into it. It looked really good. It was boring, but it looked really good. And then the second act came, and I started thinking to myself, I don't know if I like this. And when you start doing that, when you can actually think without being so captivated by the movie, it's kind of makes you nervous. And I felt like I was watching Attack of the Clones or not because it's like Attack of the Clones, but because I analyzed the
down spot in the middle of it. It like takes a time out a little bit, which is sort of good.
Yeah, it's okay.
But you don't know that's good the first time you see it because you don't know what's coming after it. So you're scared shitless in the theater.
I was scared. But then the third act was spectacular.
Yeah.
The third act made me forget about the second act. It was the dog fights, the how the story literally brought you to the beginning of episode 4.
Yeah.
I liked it.
The Darth Vader scene, I've been waiting for decades.
Let's talk about the Darth Vader scene. I liked the Darth Vader scene where he was in the back-to-tank type chamber.
Was pretty cool.
And was that Mustafar? He was on Mustafar.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That was an awesome scene.
Why would they not put it there?
That's true.
Why do they label every other fucking planet that you don't care about, but they don't say Mustafar? I mean, maybe you're just supposed to know.
Yeah. Was that a little too much for you? How they just kept going from place to place? Like at the beginning,
I sort of liked it. It made the universe. It made the galaxy big.
Yes.
I liked it. It really broke. It broke the format of the three world
and
Star Wars movie. You know,
I didn't have a problem with there not being a scroll.
That was fine.
That was fine with me.
But I hated the title.
I thought it was
really goofy.
It was really weird.
Shows it shows Saw Gerrera close the hatch, and then Rogue One. It was like Crawl. It reminded me of Crawl.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like they gave you a good 5 minutes of the movie, and then they gave you the title.
Music sucked.
The music was not that good.
I paid attention to that
the second time.
For the second time.
It wasn't that great. No.
It's like it hit cues from it cued back to the original,
and that was the good stuff.
That was and it wasn't great. It's like the composer is awesome. Mm-hmm.
What's his name? I don't know what he did.
I can't.
Okay, we'll put it in there. But I didn't.
Giacomo.
Okay, I don't know what else he's done.
Lost. He's done everything.
Oh, really?
Star Trek. He's done everything.
Okay.
He's probably one of the biggest guys.
Really?
But yeah, he fell short.
Yeah, it was a little dull. I didn't connect with Jyn Erso that much, but she was her character served a purpose. My favorite character was Bodhi.
Okay.
And I think it was because he was super ethnic looking.
Fair enough.
He was Mediterranean looking, and I sort of relate with that. But I also liked how he was the defector from being a bad guy. KS2O, or what's his name?
KS2O. I didn't get that.
I didn't know.
He's supposed to be the steam sealing robot. You're supposed to love. It's okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, It was alright.
Yeah, it was okay.
He was my favorite.
I think so too.
Krennic was up there.
I liked how dramatic he was.
He got pissed off. He's like,
pissed off.
"Are you blind? Put fighters in the sky." I was like, "Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, no, definitely. He was awesome. And I want to say this is sort of an inside joke, but he did remind me of your stepdad.
He's Jeff Zamler right there.
And I was so I couldn't. You know how like someone points something out to you and then that's all you can see?
Yeah.
All I could see was your stepdad. But I thought he was great. Can I just say, I'm going to probably get argued with on this one, but I thought the Tarkin was phenomenal looking.
Yeah, you know why he was awesome. And anybody that bitches about that is missing the point of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's not, they didn't have him in there to put a digital fucking character. They put him in there to keep continuity. Yeah. So even if he didn't look perfect, it's still okay. Yeah. Because it's closer than getting a lookalike actor. I thought he looked
I thought it looked great. I thought it was
perfect.
Like leaps and bounds from how they did Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy.
But wasn't he supposed to look goofy in that? Because it was like a digital world?
I don't know.
Or are you talking about in the beginning of the movie?
In the beginning. Like I appreciated
too smooth.
Yeah, I appreciated it, but the technology wasn't quite there. I'll be honest with you, I did not have an issue with the great way Tarkin looked. But did you notice something the second time?
No. I mean, but I wasn't looking for that. Yeah. I mean, it's Tarkin.
Yeah.
Like holy shit. I'm like, I know they made a dude just look like Peter Cushing. I don't care how they did it.
Right. I think it's important that they showed had Tarkin in it because it shows his level of power. Because he was more powerful than Vader. Like
he's Vader's boss.
Yeah, he's Vader's boss.
Yeah.
And I liked how they didn't put the Emperor in it.
Because that's Vader.
Yeah.
Vader was the Emperor in this movie.
Let's talk about Vader. I did have a problem with his voice.
Yeah, you know what though? They did what they had James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
His voice has changed, and I mean maybe they could have done better.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't give a shit.
You were just so happy to see Vader.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's too critical. Mm-hmm. It was James, they got the same guy and the same modularity to his voice.
It just sounded like there was
in parts it was off.
I thought it was off. I think it was maybe like the inflection in his voice. It was definitely like sounded aged, which was fine. But there's something about it just sounded a little bit less passionless. I don't know if that makes sense. I look forward to seeing it again, but I was very judgmental on it. And I also thought, again, I think this was the 3D, but I thought his helmet looked off too. But
I thought his helmet looked just like A New Hope.
Okay.
Like I thought he looked straight out of A New Hope.
Right.
They even made his like shit not light up.
Oh yeah,
they really paid a lot of attention to that.
I will say that I think this movie looked beautiful. Like it looked gritty.
That's how you do digital.
It was awesome. Yes.
This is how, this is how you do a digital movie. Like, no question about it.
It looked good. So, a lot of people. Okay. So it's hard to talk about this because there was so much going on, and like, I liked this movie. I did not love this movie, but I liked it. I would read reviews. People were like, "Oh, it's better than Empire. It's better than Force Awakens."
Craziness.
It's not.
You can't even compare it to those because it's not.
It's a standalone movie.
It's a standalone movie. I mean,
it's a war movie.
Yeah, and it's like it's a supplemental. It's like the appendices of Star Wars. It's like
I was talking to Magnus about
this. Everybody dies in it. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't carry over. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Yeah, everybody dies, so we just spoiled it. I was talking to Magnus about this, and he's a Blu-ray collector, and we were talking about where you would organize this in your Blu-ray collection. Do you keep it separate from the trilogies, or do you put it right between 3 and 4?
Right in between 3 and 4, I think.
That's what I said, and he said no. But it seamlessly, in my opinion, went from episode to Rogue One to episode 4, and I loved it. I think the last half an hour of this movie was so good, so spectacular.
I think you can compare that to the end of Empire. You could compare it because the end of Empire is my favorite Star Wars anywhere.
I could see
and this might be comparable.
Yeah, that's that. This was a straight up war movie. I loved how dark and brooding it was because it was dark. I mean, everyone died. Which is so I so commend them for doing that.
Yeah, I mean it's Disney.
Yeah,
it's Disney, and I read about the scenes they changed, and wow,
you did. See, I did not.
Okay, so the one, and I'm assuming this would be the end. It is Chirrut. Is that how you say his name?
I don't remember what.
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen is like.
But she was good.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was a good character.
It's like they're on a ship.
Okay.
Right? And it's like, he's coming. And it's all black, and you hear the breathing. Right? Okay. And it's like he comes, kills Donnie Yen.
Oh, wow, that's a big difference.
And it's like they're all on the ship. And it's like, kills Johnny Yen, kills the other guy that's his buddy, and then it's like she hands off the plans to the and he kills her. That was a scene.
Really?
And it didn't. That's the scene I read. Yeah, and
I think based on what you're telling me, I'm glad they did it the way they did.
Me too. That'd be too much.
Yeah, that would be too much.
Like seeing Vader kill Jane would be like, let her die on the beach.
I liked how they did that. It was very. It reminded me of like an old war movie, and that aspect I liked.
It made it. It made them go out, but they knew they were going on, and it had it gave it like I guess you could say it's a happy ending, not really happy. They all died, but they accomplished the mission.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we knew was going to happen, but
I love the dog fighting. I mean, that was the best. I mean, that was
the best space battle I've ever seen. The cuts, like you're expecting a cut. No, it's not cutting. Nope, it's still going. And they just it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was so beautifully shot. The cinematography was gorgeous. My issues were the little issues with Vader. In the middle of the movie was a
Vader
little dry.
was perfect in it.
You okay.
I thought
I can't wait to see it again. I'm going to go tomorrow to see it again.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about the voice, but
it didn't matter to you.
It didn't matter a lot, but it's just he never said things like that in the other movie. I mean, it's sort of like he never had snarky comments like, don't choke on your own ambitions. He never said shit and it's like...
That's true. I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. It sort of adds a new level to the character.
Yeah, I thought it added a level. I thought it was sweet, and then seeing him kill 20 dudes was. I've been waiting my whole life for that.
Yeah. Who was your favorite new character out of all of the crew, the Rogue One guys? Who was your favorite?
Donnie Yen. Yeah, without a doubt, he was cool. I didn't like Jyn Erso either.
Yeah,
and it was nothing against.
Right.
Well, I don't care that's a woman. I'm gonna go. I don't. But I didn't. No, not for me.
Yeah.
She didn't have the right look for me.
Okay.
Was part of it.
What do you mean as far as look? What were you looking for? You don't know how to.
I'd have little more squared off. Her face looked so round and cute.
She was cute.
She's cute.
Yeah, she was cute.
I didn't
cute
want
little
that.
British mouse.
I didn't want her to be cute. Yeah. I would have definitely someone that. She didn't look like she lived that hard of a life. She looked very sweet and innocent.
Okay. I'd say you could say the same thing about Rey, but Rey was living on a desert island.
But Rey looked fine.
Yeah.
Rey was very, she had more,
Rey was far
sharper features. She had a square jaw and, I could see her being pissed.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Just, she was so not... I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't dislike Jyn Erso, but I certainly
She was
forgettable. Yeah.
For me, she was the weakest.
I liked Bodhi. I liked what was the Cassian? Is that what his name? He was okay.
He was cool.
I loved the way it looked. I can't express that. That bounty hunter guy. I don't know if he's a bounty hunter, but the guy with the tubes in his face.
Yeah, he was sweet
They just had. It makes me even sadder that Hasbro isn't doing a straight up good 3 3/4 inch action figure line, because I would love to get a whole collection of figures that were reasonable, but I don't know, it kind of made me want to go out and get what they are offering, but they're just not offering what I want. I could complain, I guess you could complain about the way Leia looked at the end, but it was so small, I didn't have a problem with it either.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're gonna judge that, don't watch it. You're missing what the movie's about.
I agree with you.
It was fine for a stand-in.
Yeah.
And same with Tarkin. You know what?
I love Tarkin.
Even if there is something wrong with him, fuck you guys. If you're gonna... Don't watch the movie. It's not about that. But I loved how, they even... my brother was so excited when it showed, the back of his head and he had the duck's ass going.
Yeah. No, that was intense.
Yeah, they just did it. They did that movie right.
Yeah.
They loved some Star Wars. I would be so curious to see what they originally came up with, because it must have been dark as shit.
I think that was dark. I think that was a dark movie.
It was, I'm this is borderline a Disney movie.
He was but Disney movies are no longer Disney movies. I mean, when you look at
true.
Captain America Winter Soldier, I mean, that was an intense movie.
Yeah, but you had the whole, that was, and I guess even Civil War, but you had, the whole stupid thing where Tony Stark talked to the woman at the elevator, and now he's like, oh, we gotta help the little guy, all that goofy.
And you don't think there was
This had none of that. This was hardcore.
It was hardcore.
which I love.
I loved it too.
They killed everybody. It's like, God bless you.
Yeah.
Guys. And there was no room for they might have survived.
No.
They might show. There's no hope.
Nope.
I mean, there was all hope.
Yeah, the hope is the future, not.
And they said they were talking about way too much hope in this movie. They got old.
Yeah.
They mentioned hope so much. Shut up about the hope.
I was concerned about Jyn Erso's speeches, and I think her speeches were cheesy, but it wasn't that bad.
Like in the middle of the movie,
yeah,
she tried.
It was a little bad, but the thing is I knew going into this that this was a standalone movie. Mm-hmm. But even knowing that, it was hard to watch it and know that you're watching that because we've never seen that before. Yep. So it was really hard to... At first, it was hard to separate that, hey, I'm watching a Star Wars movie, but I'm watching a Star Wars movie that isn't part of... I mean, it is part
of
a...
the Ewok adventure, but good, you know? I mean...
Yeah. Will you see it again?
Oh,
third time?
Yeah, I'll see it. Yeah, I'll see it a few times.
I'd ask you where you would rank this, but I don't know if that's fair to do. I mean,
4.
4. Right.
Number
4 I think that's
me.
pretty easy. I mean,
goes Empire Strikes Back and Force Awakens are right up there with me. Like 1 and 2.
Oh, you like this better than Jedi?
Yeah, okay. I do like it more than Jedi. And then New Hope, and then that. You know what? I'll tie this with Jedi. I'll tie it. I don't know.
I will say this. I think that this movie made A New Hope better. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah.
It's crazy. I think it just tied together so well that it added a whole new level to A New Hope.
Blew my mind is like Red Leader, Gold Leader.
Were those the same guys? I couldn't tell.
Yes. I don't know if it was a digital interpretation, but hell yeah. Like it looked like they just pulled it right out of A New Hope. I mean, I was like props.
Right,
I give them props for all that shit.
That was love.
The movie might have had some shortcomings, but who gives a shit? It's awesome.
I would rather take this movie than like not having it. I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, considering this is just keeping us quiet till we get episode 8.
Oh, I can't. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I'll go see this 3 times. Yeah. I'd love to.
Me too.
Give me movies like this in between, like
absolutely
in between official. This is official, but in between like episodes.
Episodes.
I was gonna say episodic something, but episodes. I'm more than happy to take it.
Me too. Give it to me. I'll take it.
A lot of people like this more than Force Awakens.
I don't understand that. I didn't think it had the same, and I guess I shouldn't say I don't understand. I didn't think it was as fun. Like, this was not a fun movie. And that's not to say it's a bad movie. It just wasn't fun. Like, I was planning on taking my kids to see this.
Oh no!
I don't know that they're gonna like it. Like,
they'd be bored.
It would be. Like
Laura started to doze off. I was like nudging her, and it's like, if you're not into Star Wars, like if you don't know, if you haven't seen Episode 4, at least like 30, 40, 50 times, don't bother. I mean, like you have to. This is for people that love Star Wars.
Yes, I agree.
We're going to see the new Star Wars and we don't. No,
don't see this if you're not down with Star Wars.
It's for the diehards.
Yeah. It's a straight up war movie. It's slow paced. Be prepared. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this, you already know. It's a slow paced movie. I think the characters are really likable, but I don't think they were Force Awakens lovable. Like, I think the Force Awakens characters, Finn, Rey, they were so lovable. Like, you loved them.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the Dirty Dozen. Yes. I mean, you know it's not going to end well. Right. You sort of know it, and it's like...
Visually, though, I think looking at this thing, it was as good as Force Awakens. Like, I loved the dirty, grimy look of it. The ships were cool. Some new ships, some old ships. The stormtroopers look great. The planets look great. The effects look great.
It's one of the biggest space battles I've ever seen. I mean...
It was great.
Like, I thought that space battle was a little better than Jedi.
Okay.
Like, I mean...
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
And I mean, Jedi still has the best space battle. Even better... Like way better than anything in the prequels. Yeah. Like Episode 3 was, it sucked. I mean, it was like
okay.
Like if you watch CGI, it, wishing you were, if it weren't CGI, that would be the best. But it just looks like shit.
I agree. It does.
But I
think
this topped Jedi space battle.
I think the space battle, the whole. Again, I'm being redundant. The last half an hour of the movie
was the best.
Made up for any shortcomings I had in the middle of the movie or the beginning of it. Obviously, if you're watching this, you've already seen it. You're probably opinionated about it. I liked it. I would give it a 7 out of 10 as a movie, an 8 out of the 10 because I love Star Wars and that adding the Star Wars to it adds a point to it.
Yeah, I'll give it higher than that. I mean, it's like
it's Star Wars.
Yeah, you know it's Star Wars. Like I don't consider the prequels Star Wars. They don't fit. They don't match.
I mean, they are though.
They are, but they're not really.
Yeah, okay.
Like I mean, I get in my head, I won't accept them as Star Wars. Okay. I accept this as Star Wars. I accept it.
I think Revenge of the Sith was actually an okay movie, but I'm opening a can of worms.
No, I'm with you there, but they still don't fit.
Yeah, they still suck.
It's like this fits in there, fits right
seamlessly
seamlessly, and it's like.
One last question I have for you on this. Like, did you have a problem with the lack of lightsabers?
No.
Okay.
I thought it was cool.
Me too. I don't feel that I have to have lightsabers in the Star Wars movie. As long as it's got some of the other elements, I'm good with it.
I mean, The Force Awakens didn't have a space battle.
It didn't?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What about with Poe?
I guess, but they just did a planet, but there were like no real fighters going at it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm happy. I'm good with it. I like it. I didn't love it, but I'm going to go see it again hopefully tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing the second viewing because you said it's improved.
It's better
to a lot of people.
Time.
It is, and it'll be good.
It'll probably be better the third time.
Yeah, like, I could see that.
It's hard to relax. I know for me, seeing it the first time, I was waiting for Vader.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, when do I get to see him again? And when I saw it, like knowing where Vader is and just being able to take it in. I was so much intense. Better with it. It's like, because a lot of shit happens, and it was sort of, it wasn't hard to follow, but it was like, well, why did he do that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it was good.
And of course, like, watching a movie for the first time, you're trying to, like, look at all these characters and know all these characters, and you're not familiar with them. So you do need that adjustment period. I really look forward to seeing it a second time. Everyone has told me they liked it better the second time in 2D. If you haven't seen it, then you have no right to have watched our thoughts. Feel free to share your opinions. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And until next time,
Nerd out!
Boop, 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 boop.